Our country will never, ever be the same because of what happened on this bridge.
There's plenty of work to do. May we all leave Selma more inspired.
We honor those who walked so we could run. We must run so our children soar.
It was a moment that changed the civil rights movement and indeed America forever. Today marks 50 years to the day that Bloody Sunday unfolded along a bridge in rural Alabama. Today, President Barack Obama addressed tens of thousands of people from the same spot where 50 years ago, he too would have been met by state troopers with billy clubs. Our news anchor DeMarco Morgan has more from the president's historic visit.
Good evening, Keith. The place is pretty quiet right now, but that wasn't the case earlier today when more than 40,000 people packed the small town of Selma to witness history, many of them doing so by big jumbotrons that were placed throughout the area. But perhaps the man who stole the show was Congressman John Lewis. That's because he said he did something he never dreamt of doing.
If someone had told me when we were crossing this bridge that one day I will be back here introducing the first African-American president, I would have said, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, you don't know what to talk about. President Barack Obama.
Congressman John Lewis can now check that impossibility off his list. Thousands here in Selma watched Saturday afternoon as the presidential motorcade arrived, this time escorting the nation's first African-American president over the Edmund Pettus Bridge to a welcoming crowd. An audience sprinkled with dozens of foot soldiers who nearly lost their lives 5 decades ago on that very same bridge, many of them calling this day a big victory.
And that's what we celebrate here in Selma. That's what this movement was all about. One leg in our long journey toward freedom. And the change these men and women wrought is visible here today in the presence of African Americans who run boardrooms, who sit on the bench, who serve in elected office from small towns to big cities, from the Congressional Black Caucus all the way to the Oval Office.
The president acknowledging there is still more work to be done. However, he told the crowd to celebrate the enormous amount of change that has taken place.
If you think nothing's changed in the past 50 years, ask somebody who lived through the Selma or Chicago or Los Angeles of the 1950s.
Even at one point sounding like a young Baptist minister preaching about the importance of voting.
50 years ago, registering to vote here in Selma and much of the South meant guessing the number of jelly beans in a jar, the number of bubbles on a bar of soap. It meant risking your dignity and sometimes your life. What's our excuse today for not voting? How do we so casually discard the right for which so many fought?
And following his speech, another historical image on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, one that will likely last the next 50 years.
Those foot soldiers spilt their blood, and that this President Obama walked through that covenant blood to get to where he is. And you'll never know their names, but they're the reason that he's there.
There is no Obama without Selma. He is a direct product of this movement.
A small protest erupted during the president's speech. About a dozen people chanting, "Stop killing us, please. We need change," in reference to the killings of unarmed African-American men by police officers. But it quickly wrapped up without incident. For now, we'll send things back to you.
All right, thank you for that, DeMarco. And for some who returned to Selma this weekend, their lives are closely connected to those events of Bloody Sunday. One of them, Atlanta's own Martin Luther King III. He spoke with our Blaine Alexander today.
For so many people, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, is really the most recognizable symbol of Bloody Sunday, which is why for most of the weekend, the bridge has looked almost like you see it right now. So many people wanting to walk across or just stop and take pictures and be part of history. And people say that it's more than just pictures that they've seen in textbooks. For so many people, they feel a real emotional connection, certainly to the events that went on this bridge. But there are a small group of people for whom it's more than just history, it's a part of their lives. I got a chance to speak with Martin Luther King III, and he told me, of course, while he was not actually here on Bloody Sunday, he feels a true emotional connection with this weekend, and he told me it was almost like a homecoming for him.
One of the things that I'm excited about is for this anniversary, we brought our daughter, and she represents the next generation, being 6 years old. So she will be marching with my wife and I on tomorrow when we march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Wow, emotional moment for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, quite emotional.
Tomorrow morning, hundreds, even thousands of people will gather at Brown Chapel AME, just a few blocks away from where I'm standing, to recreate that iconic walk over the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They're going to start at the church, weave through the streets of downtown, and then finally come and cross over the bridge, just as was done 50 years ago. And we're going to be bringing you full and complete coverage streaming live on 11alive.com. That's going to start tomorrow afternoon. And of course, my colleague DeMarco Morgan and I will be here all day to give you live coverage starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. For now, reporting in Selma, I'm Blaine Alexander. We're going to send it back to you.
All right, Blaine, thank you for that. Now, our extensive coverage of the Selma anniversary continues right now on 11alive.com. There you can find a special section on our homepage. It features all of our special reports, portions of today's speeches, and a look back at Selma then and now. It's all on 11alive.com. Check it out.